So the problems that I see happens not because people are being late because they just choose to. It's because they don't understand what on time means. In the American business culture, and I'll just run these rules really by you quickly, being on time for an internal meeting means, well, I'll start with the external meeting. External meeting, you need to arrive 15 minutes before the meeting is scheduled to begin. And the reason for that is not because of some archaic rule. It gives you an opportunity to engage in those before meeting conversations, the small talk where the relationship building happens. And then for an internal meeting, it all depends on company culture. You have to look to your colleagues and maybe your boss for guidance on what that looks like. Is it 5 minutes before? Is it, 60 seconds before? But you need to make sure that you are on time. Not being prepared for lunch with the boss, big issue these days, because you mentioned earlier in the show that, you're just thrown into, you have a big megaphone sooner rather than later. I know, I remember when lunch with the boss was an honor and it took a long time before you actually had lunch, were invited, if you were ever invited to lunch with the boss. But now everyone goes to lunch with the boss, and young people don't understand how to prepare, and they miss these wonderful opportunities. It's not about the knife and the fork. It's about being prepared to engage in small talk, to talk about your projects. Even if your boss says, hey, do you want to grab a cup of coffee tomorrow at 1:30? It sounds very casual. It sounds very friendly. You're just going to hang out. No, you're going to talk about business. So be prepared to talk about your projects. Know something what's going on in the company, positive things. And be prepared to engage.
I'm a big fan of having a list of questions.
Yes.
And I love it when people ask me out to lunch or something and they said, I've prepared a list of questions. And it might even old school pull out a piece of paper that's got 5 questions typed on it. I love that because it feels like they were prepared. What's your attitude towards that? Do you like that?
A list of questions if you're having lunch with the boss?
Yeah.
Absolutely.